Okay, this should be live. Let's hope. The new one is going live. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay. Oh, goodness. Now I'm trying to hook it up and it's not hooking up. Okay. I know it's been a while since I've done a live, but it hasn't been that long. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. My phone, when you do this in practice, it works perfect. But when you go to do it live, it does not. That's the kind of day I've been having today. So let's see here. Let me double check this now on my computer. Oh, goodness. Okay. Yep. Okay, I think I should be all set up, but let's double check here. I know there's a delay, and I apologize for the other one. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know what happened there. Sorry, I'm still trying to make sure it's all centered so you guys can see everything. I think we're good to go. If you could give me a thumbs up, that would be great. I'd appreciate that. Let's see here. I think we're doing good. Okay. All right, let me see, make sure I'm live still. I think I am. Okay, let's start this over. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you're here, and I'm back. Yes, I have been gone for a while from doing my Facebook Lives, and it's just been a lot going on with daycare and with personal life. So I have had to take a break from doing the Facebook Lives, but I am back. I'm going to try to do them every other week again. I do know in October they will be done on another night because I will be having a class every Monday in October. So, but I haven't figured that out quite yet. But today, what I'm going to share with you is I had my stamp camp last Friday. First class in person in a long time. Woo woo! Oh, it was so much fun. I just loved having my ladies back. I miss them so much. But these are the cards we made. I featured the Fancy Phrases stamp set. And this, I love this. I don't know why. I think because I like it because it's got the outside and the inside phrases. And you can do a lot with just these without coloring. Now, we did not do any coloring on these. I thought this time I'd try to make it a little bit easier because it's been a long time since we all stamped. But that's why I went ahead and didn't do any coloring on these. We used the birthday wishes. They're all birthday cards because I figure with all of us being quarantined for a long time, not quarantined, but having to stay home, not being able to go out much, that we're going to have to probably running out of our cards, and birthday cards are an important card. So we made all of them as birthday cards. In my stamp camp, we made 3 cards, 2 of each design. So they went home with 6 cards. So, and also I made this cute little treat holder, and they hold these mini Ghirardellis. Okay, I must be really out of it because this is the first time I saw these in the store. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. So of course we had to make something with it. And I'm actually going to show you how to make that card, that treat holder tonight too. So let's go ahead and get started with our cards. Okay, our first one we're going to do is, we're going to do this one first. And guess what? I have the new cutting machine. Woo woo! It is called the Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine. That's too big a long name. Don't like it. Trying to come up with one. And then we're going to have a mini version of that. Hasn't come out yet, but that's going to be coming out. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, what am I going to call the big one? The mini one's cute. Call it mini. Uh-oh. Disney Freaks. Minnie Mouse. So mine are called Mickey and Minnie. Welcome, Mickey Mouse. Here you go. This is Mickey. It's not Mickey Mouse. It's Mickey Cutter. And we have Minnie Cutter. So mine's going to be called Mickey and Minnie. But anyway, I will be showing you how to use it when we go to make our card. Okay, so on this card, we are going to be using terracotta tile ink. We are also going to be using crushed curry ink, and we are going to be using the layering oval frame dies right here to cut out I already cut out the brown, the early espresso with this one, and we're going to be cutting out the birthday wishes with this. So let's go ahead and get started on our card. So you know what I did not do? I did not write down any of the measurements that I did, but we will figure it out as we go. I guess it's been a long time since I've done Facebook Live, huh? Not getting out of sorts of what we're making. Okay, so let's put this one here. Okay, so here are what we're going to use. Now, on this one, we used, this is cut, I believe, let me get my ruler out because, like I said, I didn't write down the measurements on any of this. This is at 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at, whoops, thought I scored it at 2 1/8, and this one is at 2 1/8. So this, really, hold on, sorry, I thought I scored that different. Yep, 5.5 by 8.5. And I did. I came in at 2 1/8, and then this one is scored at 6 3/8. And then we have the inside is at 4 Whisper White 4 by 5 1/4. This is terracotta tile. You're going to need 3 of those, and those are cut at 1 3/4 by 4. And I used the Ornate Garden Designer Series paper, and those are cut at 3 3/4 by 1 1/2, and you're going to have 3 of those. And then I have a piece of scrap for the sentiment. My goodness, I'm drawing a blank here. For the sentiment, and then also scraps, I did the medium daisy. I punched out 4 in the crushed curry, and we have the circle is a 1/2 inch circle out of the early espresso. So let me move this stuff out of the way so that we can continue. Okay, and I had already stamped this one, and like I said, I stamped it in the terracotta tile. It's the Happy Birthday Wishes. I'm not sure why I had already stamped that one, but I did. So we'll use it. We're not going to let it go to waste. So let's go ahead and get this card made. So the first thing we're going to do is burnish our score lines on here. Okay, so on the inside and on my envelope, I used the this flower from the Daisy Lane stamp set. I thought it went well with the Designer Series paper on here, and it was simple that I could just add it to the envelope and on the inside of the card. So we're going to use the crushed curry for that one. Let me double check here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to stamp that in the corner here and on the corner of my envelope. And there you go. So that's all the stamping there is. You're going to stamp 3 things. 2 flowers, 1 sentiment, and you're good to go. Let me get out my simple chamois to clean that off. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this one in the inside. And I did learn a trick on when you're using the Stampin' Seal. If you just go like this and lift up, it doesn't, it's like gooey from, it stays connected, and then you have to roll it. But if you take it and you go like this and you just roll your wrist, let me do this side and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to roll my wrists like this. You're going to just kind of take your tape and go like this so that you're pushing the tape so that it's on here too. You want to keep it going a little bit. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stick this on the inside. There, perfect. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let's put our flowers together first. Again, I used glue dots, I believe, for these to put them together. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I did. So I'm just going to put one on two of these. Put glue dot on two of them. Two of them you don't want to, because we're going to stick these to the other piece. And you're going to alternate these. So it's going to make your daisy fuller. That's why I punched out two of them. And then on the back of these, or you know what, I only have one brown circle. Where's my other one? You know what? I have it right here. Let me grab it. Here's one. Okay, we need two of those. Okay, so then I just used a glue dot for this too. Now, when I'm putting on small stuff like this, when I use glue dots, what I like to do is get out my Take Your Pick. And I like to use this. You could use the flat side too. I personally like the pointed side. I'm just going to take it off that, and it helps me put it where I want it. And put it right here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put two dimensionals, one on each one of those. And then the reason I did the flowers first is because I want to put Wink of Stella on those. So while I'm working, I'm just putting it on the center. While I'm working on the rest of the card, this can be drying. So I'll put that on there, set it off to the side, and they're ready to go. So we'll stick that off to the side. Okay, now I want to show you something. When I cut my paper for this part of the card, when I had cut my paper, I made sure, now this is my OCD coming out because you ladies know I am very OCD. So what I did was I wanted to make sure that my paper was perfectly lined up. So what I did was, this side. There we go. So what I did was I laid it out like this then I went ahead and cut it. So what I'm going to do then is also make sure that I keep those in the same order to put on my card. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. I want to make sure that I'm in the frame. I have a different setup a little bit here. Since I have done a Facebook Live, I have changed my whole room around. I actually redid my whole craft room during the lockdown for COVID. I have a bright yellow craft room now. Love it. It looks so much bigger. And I promise I will be taking pictures eventually here. Because right now it is a hot mess. And the reason is, number one, I'm in the middle of prepping for classes. I have Christmas card classes coming up, and I am also working on my retreat. And I have piles all over my craft room. I'm working on this, I'm working on this. And on top of all that, I have my paper share that I'm cutting and trying to get together so I can get that out before I go on Friday or Thursday for a summit retreat, a leadership summit with Stampin' Up. And we were supposed to, believe it or not, be in New Orleans this weekend. Well, needless to say, I'm kind of glad we're not going there. It has been changed over to virtual because of COVID. But what's nice is I am going to go spend some time with my friend Mary and her upline Susie. So we're going to all watch it together and have a great time. And I'm really looking forward to getting away. So I just, like I said, I have things everywhere in my craft room, so I can't show it to anybody right now. It is a hot mess. Okay, so when I go to put these on, I am going to lay them out first. Because if you notice how this opens, when we glue them on, we're only going to glue on half. We don't want to put adhesive all the way over here. And ask me how I know? Because I did it the first time. So what I do is I want to lay this out so that it is, I can kind of measure where I want to put it and make sure they are spaced where I want them. Because remember, we got to leave a little bit of space. You don't need a whole bunch, but you do need a little bit of space so that they will fit in between each other. Okay, so this is how I want them out. So I'm going to start with my bottom one first. I'm going to flip this over, and my bottom one is going to be attached only on this side. So what I do is I flip it over. Okay, so I want it here. That's where I want it on the side. So I know now, okay, don't want to go any further than that because I don't want to here over here. See how I did that? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm only lightly laying these. I am not pressing them down hard yet because I want to make sure that I have the spacing right before I do that. Okay. Hi, Sherry. Thank you for joining me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that on the top here too. Whoops, I took that off, didn't I? That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I know the top one again is on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and put that. And then I'm going to line it up again. And we don't put it on tight, remember, just lightly lay it on there because we need to, if we need to adjust these, we can. Okay, now with this one, you're going to want it on the right-hand side. So I kind of line it up where we want it. Okay, I can see my line right there. Probably not on camera, you can't, but I can see it. So I know where I need to put it. Okay, so I'm going to line that up right there. Make sure these all look right. Okay, that one moved a little bit. So this is the reason why this one moved on me. So I'll come back in and fix it. Okay, that I think looks good. And now I'm going to press it down hard. So that way they'll stay where I want them. Okay, so I went ahead and I already stamped this. But let me get out our new machine and show it to you. Oh my gosh, machine, it's good. I really don't need that. Yes, I want it. It's beautiful. It's pretty. But do I really need it? No. Well, then I got it. I'm like, nope. Of course, while I'm thinking all of this, my other cutting machine is causing me issues. So I was like, great. And you know what? I'm wondering. Oh, thank you. Hi, Penny. I'm trying to see if I can get this in. It's going to be really close up. I'm sorry because of where my camera is. Let me see if I can lift it. I don't know if I want to mess with the camera. Okay, so here we go. It all closed in like this. See? Look at that beautiful stamping up on here. Isn't that gorgeous? It's all white, but look at this. It folds up. This is how little it is. See, I'm trying to get it in the middle so you can see. But this is how little it is. So here's my hand, so about the length of my hand. And then these come down and you click them into place, just like that. How cool is that? And then you're going to get, and they have them numbered. They have the plates numbered. This is number 1, and it's going to be right here, and it tells you, this is what you need to do cutting with the dies. This is what you need doing an embossing. This is what you need with the 3D embossing. So on all of them though, you're going to use a number 1. So that's the first one you're going to put in there because we're going to use that one. Now, because I'm using a die, we need our number 2 in there. And of course, we need our number 3, and you can tell I've been using mine quite a bit. So we need our number 3. We're going to put that in there. We're going to put our paper in there with our die. Now, this is not magnetic. Yeah, they are going to be coming out with one that is magnetic. So that should be coming out hopefully soon. We haven't gotten a date yet on that. So I'm just going to go ahead and line this up like that. And it pretty much stays where it wants, where it's going to go. So then we're going to put our other number 3 on top of that. So we light it up, stick it in here, and then we're going to crank it. And I'm going to tell you, this cranks so smooth. And I was really wanted to know what my mature ladies, as my mother would say, she goes, I'm not old, I'm mature. I wanted to see what they thought of this. So I had them use it in class, and I wanted to see their opinion and their thoughts on it. And all of them loved it. And one of them loved it so much she ordered it. She goes, oh my gosh, this is so easy to use. She goes, it cranks so nice. So, and then if you're going to use an embossing folder, you are going to be using, you would use number 1, of course. Now, if it's a regular embossing folder, you would use your 3, no, number 2, just 1. See how it says here? Oh, you can't read it, but it's 1 and 3. So you would use 1, use number 3, put your embossing folder on there and your paper, and another embossing number 3, and send it through. Now, if you're using a 3D though, the thicker embossing folders, you're going to use a number 1 and only the number 4, and you put it through. And I have to say, I saw this online and I thought I would try it. And someone had tried with the old machine and with this machine on the embossing folders. And guess what? It worked. It came out, the embossing came out so much prettier and more depth to it, I guess is what I want to say. It is really, really neat. And guess what? When you're done, load it up, voila, and that's all the space it takes. Perfect. So we'll be using that again for on another card. But I wanted to quick show you that so you could see it. That was a fast, this is what it is. I haven't had a chance to really do a better presentation of it, but I did want to explain it to you guys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our happy birthday, or birthday wishes, I mean, on top of our early espresso oval. And then I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals on this one. Okay, so this one I kind of put in the middle. And then my flowers and the Wink of Stella is now dry because I let them dry while we were making the card. And I'm going to go ahead and put them one on the right top, and you can put these anywhere you want. It's all up to you. And I put one on the bottom, and there's your first card. How cool is that? And it's such a neat layout that even my ladies had asked for the retreat. They're like, can we make this card at the retreat too? And I'm like, I'm sure we can, because we're still working on designing our projects. So there is card number 1. Yay! Okay, let's go on to card number 2. I'm just looking for a place to set these. Okay, put that in there. Alrighty. So now on to our second card. Now, the second card we're going to be making is this. And I have to say it right out here. I did not design this card. I saw this online and I thought I wrote down the lady's name that designed this card, and I did not. I found this on Pinterest. I fell in love with it. I thought it was so pretty because I love the Peony Garden Suite. And that had this paper, and I was working with this paper when I saw that card, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to make this card. So I cannot take credit for this card. And whoever designed it, thank you so much for sharing. I absolutely love it. So for this card, we are going to be using the beautiful Peony Garden Designer Series paper. So we're going to start with Gray Granite. It's 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 5 1/2. This piece right here is going to be 4 1/4 by 2 1/2. This one I know is 5 1/2 inches long, and it is 2 inches wide. Look at how pretty the paper is on the other side too. It's just, oh, you know what? You could make it that way too if you wanted to. But we're going to go ahead and make it that way, the same way that I made it. Okay. So I am going to bring out this paper here because I am going to be stamping off on my, off of the piece of paper. I'm going to be stamping off and I don't want it on my mat, so I'm going to bring this in. Now this piece is, I want to say, I believe I did it at 4 inches. Yes, 4 inches by a hair under 2 inches because I used our new tag punch that's in the holiday catalog. But you know what? I don't know. I'm not holiday, annual catalog, but I don't remember the name of it. I'm sorry about that. I don't. No, it's not. I usually have cheat sheets in these that tell what I used. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Maybe I wrote it down. The Fancy Tag Topper Punch. See? Oh, here it is. Julie Davison is who designed this card. I did write it down. She's the one that designed this card. And thank you, Julie, so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm just kind of rambling. I'm so excited to be here tonight. It's been so long. Okay. Hi, Kathy. Yes, Kathy, Karen. Okay, I know I have it written down so I remember if it was Kathy or Karen. I'm so sorry. Thank you for joining. Okay. Like I said, I'm just giddy because it's been so long since I've done this. Okay, so I'm probably, when I get really excited, I talk really fast, so I'm probably talking too fast. I'm sorry. Just say, slow down, Joy, slow down. Okay. Like I said, I'm sorry. I'm so excited. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this. Let's bring it down just a bit. I want to say, I think I brought this down an inch. Let me see here. And what's nice about this grid paper, and you can order this, each of these squares here is 1/4 of an inch. I can tell just by looking at my other thing. And it helps to line up things like this, how I was lining that up. I'm going ahead and put these papers on first, and then we will do our stamping. But I'm going to get on as much as I can first. Let's go over a little bit. Okay, so I went over about 3/8 of an inch. Or an eighth, yeah, 3/8. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3/8 of an inch is what I went over. Okay, so on our beautiful tag, today we're going to be using Basic Gray and Petal Pink. And Petal Pink, we're going to be doing the big flower. And what I did was I kind of looked at it and see, here are the big roses in here. And I wanted to make sure I got those on here. And this one is sticking out. So I knew I wanted to get this on the tag. So go ahead and ink it up. And sometimes with these, it's easier if you flip this over and go like this and ink it up. Because then you can see exactly what you're doing. Make sure it's all inked. And then we're going to go, just going to kind of, I'm playing thinking here. We're going to put it on here like this. I don't know if it's the same or not, but we're going to put it on. Now, this is a lot brighter. It will dry more. It's not going to be as bright as this once it dries. See how the difference in colors? But like I said, once it dries, it will turn to that color. Alrighty. And then I went ahead and I did the same thing on the inside of the card. And I did it on my envelope too, because we don't want to send out naked envelopes. I'm going to turn this a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. And you, like I said, you can put it any direction you want to. You don't have to do it the same. It's your card. Be creative. And I think some of the ladies actually did it in gray. They didn't do it in the pink. And I'm like, go for it. It's your card. Do what you want. Okay, so I am done with that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned off. So, because we're going to be using this a lot on the next card. So we want to make sure we don't have any pink on it left. So I'm using my Simple Chamois, and I'm going to go ahead and press it on there because I want to make sure I have all of that ink off. Close up your ink pads. And the reason is, number one, they don't dry off that fast, but you don't want to, you know, expose it to the air any more than necessary. And number two, sometimes I end up touching it with either my hands, I get it all over my project, or I will also get it on my project. It will bump up against the ink pad. So oh, nope, we are not done with this one. We need to put on the saying on the inside of the card. And again, I will use my grid paper to line everything up. Oh, thank you, Karen. Oh, Karen. I will get it. I will remember Karen. Thank you. I've missed doing these too. You are so sweet. Thank you very much. This says, may your day be filled with heartfelt happiness. I have also been doing what's been taken away from me doing my Facebook Lives is I've been doing a lot of my classes online. So that has been taking up my time too. And my daughter ended up she did get married this summer. It was a very small because they couldn't have the big wedding. So the big wedding's next summer. So we had that going too. So like I said, it's just been a crazy, crazy time in my home. Fun time, but crazy time. Or I should say as fun as can be expected during this time. Okay. All right. Now we also want to use a basic gray on the happy birthday. Okay. Now I want it a little bit darker, so that's why I'm using the basic gray, but you could use the gray granite too. And I had the basic gray on as the card base. So I wanted it also dark, and that's the way that Julie had done it too. Like I said, I fell in love with this card, and so I did not change it. I literally did everything the way she did it. Make a silly noise. Okay, so now I'm taking my great granite shimmer ribbon. It's so pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and you put it, I always want to think this through because usually I do it wrong the first time and I have to take it out. But you put it through the back, you take both ends, put them through the back, and pull them through this little knot here, the little loop here. And fix that there. And you just pull it, and there you go. It's perfect. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I won't do it until I get it on here yet, but I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. And you know what? Oh, there they are. I also put pearls on this. There. Okay. So I need dimensionals. Here we go. So we're going to put it here. Now, I usually go crazy with dimensionals. I just want to make sure it stays up. And if anyone is interested in my Christmas card classes, you can go to my blog, stampandscrapper.com, and it will have it on there. Okay, I'm going to put it kind of like that. Okay, now, what I'm going to do is, I like to keep these, I want these kind of together. Here we go. I'm going to kind of move this over because I want them overlapping each other more than apart. That's just me. But you can do whatever you want. And then what I do sometimes is I will take, and it doesn't need it, but I want to show you what I do sometimes. I will take a glue dot and I will stick it in between here. Oops. To help hold it in place. And that way I know it's going to stay right where I put it. Whoops. Didn't want to do that. Flatten it out. There we go. And then I'm going to trim this, and I trim it at an angle. There we go. All righty. Okay, and then I'm going to add 3 pearls. One up here. Again, remember on these, you want to do odds. You don't want to do evens. So we're going to do 3, or you could do 5. I think 5 might be a little too much, but I did 3. And there you go. That's how easy peasy lemon squeezy that card was. Easy. Woohoo. So that is card number 2. Yay. Okay, put that with this. Let's see. I think this is one I just did. Yep. So keep that together. We'll put that. Okay. One more card. This one's a fun one. Okay, now I created this. I designed this card. Isn't it pretty? I wanted to do something. So you can see my cheat sheet. I wanted to do something that was easy but classic and just simple. Like I said, just elegant. I think this is very elegant. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start this. And again, this is simple measurements. We're going to have 4 1/4. Whoops, get my little gems there. 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored it at 5 1/2. You're going to have 2 sheets of 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper White, and this was about this. I would make this probably like 3 3/4 by 2 1/2 to cut it. You know, a scrap piece of paper for that. And then this is 3 by 2 1/2. And we're going to be cutting that out. And then with this one, we're going to be using the beautiful Stitch So Sweetly. Now these do, and you could layer these, especially these 2. But I did the outside one for the black. I already cut it out. And then we have the second one for the white. Okay, now with this one, I just used the Memento ink. So we're going to go ahead and let me move this stuff off to the side. So we're going to be stamping on these. Let me get this burnished. That way I'm done with that. And off to the side. I'm going to stick my gems over here so I don't lose them. Now we're done with that. Okay, so for on the inside of my card, this time, whoops, take out my little cheat sheet. I'm going to use, whoops, I brought it bring it way down, Joyce. Okay, for the inside of my card, I'm going to stamp it in black with the sentiment from our last one, same one. May your day be filled with heartfelt happiness. But this time, I'm going to use the little stamp on the inside and also on my card, on my envelope. I'm going to use the little one this time. Last time, when I made it for my class, I did the big one. But today, I want to use the little one. Just something different. Okay, so, and these go this way. Now, this one is made this direction. And one of my ladies had turned hers that way and made it. So this time, I'm going to turn mine. And I'm going to make mine going up and down this time. I just want to try it and see what it looks like. I think hers turned out so pretty. I'm like, I need to try that. So where is my, oh, here, I already got my ink out. Okay, so this is going to be for the inside of the card. We're going to do that one first. So we're going to go ahead and ink this up. There we go. Oh, perfect. Perfect. I'm just going to quick clean off my stamp. Okay, so this one we're going to stamp on the inside. Oops. There we go. And I'm just going to put it right there in this on there. Set that off to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and do my envelope right away. Since I have it out, I might as well. Now you can go ahead and clean this off, or you can set it way off on the side, but we will be using this one again. So I'm just going to set it way over here on the side so I don't mess it up. So now for my card going this direction, I stamped it going this way, but I want to go it up and down. So I'm going to stamp it a little bit different. Now this one, because I noticed with my, see how the metal doesn't get totally, oh, thank you, Karen. Thank you. See how the middle doesn't always get inked right away? So just take the edge of it and twist it, especially with the Memento inks, or even the StazOn, I twist. And that helps get it, but make sure, like I just did, I need to quick grab a wipe over here. Because of my long nails, I stuck them in the ink. So if you don't have long nails, you don't have to worry about that, but I do. So I sometimes get ink on my nails. Okay, so then I'm going to, let's see, let's start it this way. Make sure you guys can see me. There. Okay, and this, I think it takes longer to ink up your stamp than it does to make this card. And there was no rhyme or reason. I just started playing and, oh, how would this fit in there? You know, I moved my, I would move this around and play with it. I'm trying to think how I did this. I think I did it. Like I said, I was just playing with it and how to line it up. Oh, that looks good. Let's do that. And just filling in. Now you do want to remember, again, this is going with the odds, the designer odds. You want to make sure you have stamped it 5 times. Now you don't have to be too concerned about the middle, because we're going to be covering it up. So you don't have to be too concerned. So I'm going to go ahead and do it like this, because that fits perfect there. Okay, there's number 3. Okay, now we need to do 2 more. Let's see here. I want to turn this a little bit. I don't want them all the same. You know what? Let's do it like that. Because see, that little spot will fit right in there. We're going to go ahead. Oh, no, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it this way. Nope, I don't like that either. Okay, had a grand idea, but don't like it. So let's play with it again. Like I said, I just can't. Oh, wait a minute. We're not going to see that, are we? No, we're not. So let's go ahead and we'll do it this way. There we go. Okay, so now I need to just do that section there. I forgot we did. And I even said we don't have to do the middle. Okay. That's the same spot. I don't want that. Okay. And voila. Okay. Perfect. So now we have that all stamped. We're going to go ahead and clean this off. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and use my wipe since it's so big. I still do wipes sometimes. I use both. I use my Simple Chamois and my wipes. I have learned, though, that some wipes work better than others. Some will leave fuzzies. Pampers is real, leaves a lot of fuzzies on your stamps. I found, for me, the best one to use is the Costco brand wipes. So those work great. Yep, I'm pretty sure I'm done with that. Okay. Now, to get our little piece of paper, here we go. Now remember, we're going up and down with ours. So ours is going to go, so it will look like this. Voila, I like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp my happy birthday. Now this one I'm going to do a little bit different. You know how I always am saying stamp before you cut or before you put down. This time we're going to do it a little different. We are going to stamp and then I'm going to cut it, but then I'm going to stamp again. And I'll show you why here in just a second. Okay, we're done with the birthday. Oh, and remember when you're sending out birthday cards, you want to make sure you don't put happy birthday on the outside of your envelopes. And the reason is because a lot of times those are what I get, if they're going to get stolen, those cards are the ones that will, because people think there's either money or gift cards in them. Okay, so I'm going to use a die. So I'm using number 1. Number 2, number 3, and I'm going to put my birthday on here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that out first. That looks good. Now I do want to, now it's staying pretty good for me, but I want to show you what I use. This is Post-it note tape. You can get this at Walmart. You can get this at Amazon is usually where I order mine from. Let me move this just a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so I want to show you what I do when I'm doing this, if I need to put tape on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the tape right here. And you just put it, and you want to make sure it goes over your die, and so it holds it tight to the paper, and then just send it through like you normally would. Oops. I'll show you here. Close that up. I'm done. It does make a loud click when you do close it. So we're going to go ahead and take these all off. Okay, so now what I find it easiest is to punch it out from the back, and then that Post-it note tape comes right off, and then I just peel it off like that, and voila, you're done, and you've got it, and it hasn't moved on you, and it is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put this die back on so I don't lose it. Okay, now this is why I wanted to wait to stamp this part, because see the flowers around here, I wanted to make sure how I wanted to put them on, so I waited until the end to put them on. Oops. Okay, again, do your 3 stamps 3 times. 1, 2, and I'm going to do it up here. And this one I lead sideways. Oops. There we go. I need to put like a little marking here so I know where my center is when I'm doing this. So I make sure I stay in screen. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and put our card together. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this on. This is the base that we just stamped. And see on the back it has dirt on it, but that's okay from stamping over this, which actually we're done with this, so we can get that out of our way. And we can turn this. Let's see here. I'm just going to lay this on here because I want to see which way I want it. Do I want it that way or this way? You know what? I think I like it that way. We're going to put it on this way. And I'm not sure if you remember my trick. If you line up these 3 so they're the same distance, put your finger here and drop it, and it's all going to be lined up usually, but not today because I don't know what I did. Let's try this again. That trick usually works. One thing I will say about this new Stampin' Seal, when you go to remove like this, I didn't have to huff on it or anything. I just gently took it off. it removes a lot easier, but it holds a lot stronger than our old snail. Let's try this again. There we go. I must not have had it lined up right. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put this on here. See how nice that fits in there? Isn't that pretty? Okay, now I went ahead and I put dimensionals on the back of this. Whoops, oh, two came off. I didn't, on my other one, I did not put one on in the middle, but it came off, so we'll just add it. Oh, I didn't take that one off. Okay, so we're going to put this one, oops, that's right, we're doing it this direction. We're going to put this right here. That looks good. Okay, and then I am going to, oh, I set them up here. Oh, here they are. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, forgot to put the inside in. Let's quick put that in. Okay, so see, I didn't do my little trick, and so it's down a little bit. Just take your finger like this and roll it back up into the top. And then good, and we go. And that was my fault because I did not roll my wrist a little bit. Okay. I do everything sideways. Oops. I think I cut this paper off a little bit because it's not lining up like I want it to. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add my two. These are from the Elegant. This is from the, oh, you know what? It's probably on my cheat sheet. It's the Elegant Faceted Gems. These are from the Peony Garden Suite. And they were so pretty, and they're glittery. I don't know if you can see them, but they sparkle and they're glittery. They're just really pretty. So I went ahead and used those on here. And there you are. They're done with that card. And then, let me see. I think I got both envelopes here. So we have, this is pretty cool. Look at the different things you can do with this, just this one. So we did this one. We had this open up this way with that on our envelope, or you could have it opening this way with this on the envelope. How cool is that? Same card, two different designs, but you did the same thing. How cool is that? Ooh, I like that. Actually, that's really pretty. Okay, so there's our 3 cards. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our cute treat holder. Okay. Now this is won't take long to make at all. Whoops. Okay, here I got another little cheat sheet so I know my measurements. Okay, this paper, I believe, let me double check, is 4 by 5. And you want, if you're doing a pattern paper like I am, you want to make sure your pattern is the 5-inch. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring in the, oh, what's this called? Scoreboard. Thank you. Goodness. Like I said, it's one of those things. Okay, so on my 5-inch side, I'm going to score this at 3/4. I'm going to score this at 2 1/4. Then I'm going to score it at 3. And then I'm going to score it at 4 1/2. And then you saw me just flip that. The reason I did was I was using the small end, and that's for cardstock, and you cannot see that, can you? Shoot. Let me bring that down again, and I'll show you. Sorry about that. Okay, so what I did was I scored it at 3/4 inch. I scored it at 2 1/4 inches. Then I scored it at 3 inches. I scored it at 4 1/2 inches. I'm going to turn this sideways, and on my bottom, now this is my top, so I want to flip it this way because I want my bottom at 3/4 inch. And I'm going to score that. So that's what I'm going to do on that one. And that is all the scoring that we need to do on that. So let me go ahead and burnish these. Now with this paper, I did realize when I was designing this that it is easier for me to, actually I will be flipping it over to cut it because it's easier to see on the other side than it is on the flowered side. Now this is going to be the outside of my package, but I'm going to use this to cut. Okay, so this is where we have the skinny piece, the 1/2 inch piece. So what I'm going to do is, here's my score line here. I'm going to cut it at an angle here and cut up this score line right here, up to there. And then I'm going up to this score line on all of my lines. I'm having a hard time seeing on here because of all my lights, and I definitely would not see it on the flower part. And I'm going to do an angle cut on this part here too. It just will go together a little bit better. So that is what your little box will look like, your package. So what I'm going to use though this time for this is I'm going to use our Stampin' Seal Plus. Now this is a lot like our Fast Fuse we used to have. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to put it on this strip right here and close it over and fold this over. Voila! How easy is that? Okay, so this is the back of my project. So this is going to be my front flap because we want the front flap to go in. So what I do is, I know this big piece right here is my front. I'm just going to pull these back like this. There's my front, and I'm just going to put the tape on that section right there. So I'm going to bring this in and put that down and this down. And then I'm, whoops, sticking to my tape. There we go. So put those down. Bring this one up. And then this one down. There. And that's all there is to it. Then bring this in. Push that down. This is my bone folder I'm using. Here's a picture of what I'm making. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick these two. And it fits perfect for 2 of them. Now, on here you can see that it has a gold clip. These are not, I will tell you, are not Stampin' Up! Gold clips. They, I had them, I found them when I was cleaning out things when I redid my craft room. So I thought I'm going to use those up. And all I'm doing here is I'm just pinching in the sides like that. Just pinching them in, making it look pretty. And then I'm going to go ahead, okay, and I'm going to clip that on here. There. And that's all I did. And then I took the beautiful bumblebee ribbon and I made a bow with it. And we're just going to attach that with a glue dot. And I put it right on this part. The first time I did, I put it on the circle part and it did not look right. Again, my beautiful daisies. Tie it into the card that we made. And then I'm also going to do my center again. This is a very easy, fast. If you need a little treat for somebody, super, super easy. And you can see how fast. We're going to put a dimensional on the back. And literally, that's it. You have your treat done. And I did add Wink of Stella to my flower, to the center of my flower, just to give it a little bit of bling. I need to trim my tails here a little bit. They're a little too long. And voila. And there you have it. That's it. How fast and easy is that? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Gotta love it. So let me bring back our projects so you can see them again. Get all my stuff out of the way here. Okay. Goodness. I made a mess over here. You should see the side of my crafts table here. Okay, so we made this card, that treat. Let's see, make sure I get it in the screen. We made this card, and this card today. And there you go. Make sure you can see this. Oh, I need to bring them down just a little bit. There we go. And there you go. Thank you for joining me tonight. It was wonderful being back. I miss seeing you guys, and I hopefully will see you back in a week. 2 weeks from tonight is when I would like to, I'm planning on doing my next one. You guys have a great Monday and a wonderful week. Talk to you later. Mwah! Bye-bye. And there you go.